I used to be a very spoiled city guy. I didn't understand how authority works. I didn't know anything in business, anything in technology, and it failed. It's not what you're doing, is what kind of person you are and does it fit your personality. Being an entrepreneur is a daily challenge against your own mind. That's your only potential enemy, and that's also your best friend.
I have this huge heart that you're using that knowledge to contribute back to humanity.
When I did this mind shift, that's when I started succeeding in business.
The things that I learned about you, it seems like you have done some innovative things with technology. Speaking of technology not playing incredibly nice with us the past 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I would love to learn what sparked that innovation in you to use technology as an outlet, because that's an outlet of you. That's not you, but it's an outlet of you. So what started that interest in you to have that as a creative outlet from you, Nadav?
That's a very interesting question. I've never thought about that. Steve Jobs said that when he built the first computer, that he wants the computer to be an extension of the human brain. Like the most efficient animal on the planet is a human with bike. So he wanted the computer to be a bike for the mind. I think that something in the way my brain works is always aspiring for efficiency and automation. Even when I was young, when I was washing the dishes and putting in dishwasher, I would put all the forks in one place. So when I take them out after the dishwasher finished, I can put them in one bulk and I don't need to start organizing. So I think that that's how my brain works. And then using the right technology tools, if I can imply it in marketing, in sales, in development, any aspect of a business, if I can help businesses be more efficient with technology, I feel good, and I guess them too.
I love that. Because then it becomes an extension of you that helps other people.
Yeah, it's like having a piece of me or a piece of my personality in many people's businesses, and at least the good sides.
Yeah. And I know so many individuals right now, they're in this confused state of how, let's bring up AI. How is AI going to change our world? Is it good? Is it bad? And for me, I don't think it's good or bad. It's when you talk about the extension, it's how are you going to utilize it? What do you feel about that?
I completely agree. Every time there is a technology advancement, it goes all along the spectrum. People think, all right, so now people can use it for bad to fake people's voices and images. Yeah, but then the machines and the protection is also going to use AI and it's going to protect better. So it's all across the board. It's not that one side got these advanced technology. And I believe that everything it does, it just raises the standard. Someone that could do, let's say a developer that could do X amount of job 10 years ago can do today 10x with the tools. Maybe in 5 years, you'll be able to do 20 or 40x. So it raises the standard, and whoever was not taking the extra step to be very good at what he's doing, he's going to start having a harder time, that's for sure. But on the other hand, if he wants to take the extra step, he will be able to do so much more and to be a much more valuable asset of society and to himself.
Yeah. So for people who are fearing these technological movements forward, I don't know, have you run into any of these individuals and what do you say to them?
I say the same thing I tell my cousins. I'm originally from Israel, and I tell my cousins, They're anywhere between 13 to 18. I tell them, whatever you do in school, I'm not a big fan of school, but I tell them the one thing you need to put your effort on is English. Know very good English. The whole world works in English. Everything new is in English. Every opportunity, most of the opportunities are in English. Know it very well, and you'll be good. You'll be okay. So I would say the same thing. And I do encounter people that tell me, if it's ex-employees that had working with me, other entrepreneurs, and even family members, and I tell them, hey, learn how to utilize these tools, learn how AI works, learn. You don't need to be the best at it. You don't need to found like to start a startup company. You just need to know how to work that. And once you do, you're already better than you're already better than 5 times more than the previous version of yourself without this knowledge.
Great advice. It's
Mhm.
fear, I feel, is born out of lack of knowing something too. So if you're fearing it, how much do you know about it? Now, if you still don't like it once you know about it, then that's a different conversation.
Mhm.
So that advice might just take away their fear right from the onset.
Yeah. People are scared from things they don't understand. It's easy. We are. It will help you understand itself. We are past the era that you had to go to the library to find information. If not, now we need to filter out information. We need to choose. We have too much information. So yeah, that like everything got reversed. We are so much flooded with information all the day, compared to in the past that it used to be scarce. Having a degree used to be the very scarce. Oh wow, he got a degree, and today you got a degree. How much did you pay for that?
Yes. YouTube University. You
Yeah.
could probably do the same thing, right? Um, so, of course, I did my due diligence and I learned about you from what LinkedIn and all of those would tell me. But that gives me data. That doesn't tell me about you and your journey. I want to know about you and your journey and what brought you to love, not just have technology be an outlet of you, but you have some very impressive things that you're doing. So share those with me and where this passion is now and why you're out there using technology to help companies and do what you do.
I would say my journey. Uh, I honestly think it started when I joined the army. Um, it's in Israel. Being in the army is mandatory. You don't have to do, even for women. And before that, I used to be a very spoiled city guy with no uh I, I didn't understand how authority works. I didn't understand how systems works. Human systems. We all are parts of human system. Um and it's extremely important to learn how to navigate in this space. Um so I would say that that's an experience that really straightened me. They offered me to stay there after the mandatory 3 years, and I told them no.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, but no, thank you.
thank you for the 3 years that I was, I paid on my that's part of, I look at it like a tax, time tax, not just money tax. I finished paying my taxes, not doing it anymore. But after that, I had a lot of energy. I was thrilled to do something with my life. Didn't know what, so I just started a startup company. Um, it was my first company. I was 21. It was uh, I worked for it for 1.5 years. I didn't know anything in business, anything in technology, and it failed. The business model was completely wrong from day one. I didn't listen to anyone. I was so passionate to get what I have in my mind out to the world. I was sure I'm coming with something amazing. But that's a young entrepreneur's optimism, and we've all been there.
Yep. You learn a lot, though. You really learn a lot, even if it's what not to do.
Exactly. And I think from then until today, I started probably 10 companies and maybe over 60 businesses. Most of them didn't succeed, but each thing taught me something small, big, and especially about myself. I didn't learn as much about business as much as I learned about who I am, because that's maybe the most important thing about entrepreneurship. It's not what you're doing, is what kind of person you are, and does it fit your personality. If you're an organized person, maybe you could be a project manager. If you're a very accurate person, but a very accurate person may not be the best salesperson, because salesperson needs to be very optimistic to speak about a lot of things, and just like to shoot a lot of directions. And many people are just doing something that there is just not a good fit for them. I was the same. I did so many things that were just not the right fit for my personality. And yeah, I just about a year ago, I understood that I always enjoyed building things. When I was young, I was building RC planes, electronics, speakers, and I understood this is what I enjoy. These days, I just build technology. I build products, and I let people use them. I use their feedback to improve the product. And whenever I improve the product based on one client's feedback, it improved for everyone combined. For me, that's the ultimate optimization, the ultimate efficiency. That really fits my personality.
And that journey really describes, if you're starting companies, it's not a bad idea to sit in all the roles, even if you don't like them, because then you learn how that role works anyway, and the type of person and personality it takes to be effective in that role. So if you're starting an organization, you now know what personality type to hire to be effective in the role that you don't want to play, but you know who will fit really well in there. So that takes courage too. Like, okay, the business didn't work out, but you got really amazing information that will come in handy, and you couldn't really buy any other way.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's phenomenal. Now, I know you have VoiceDrop AI.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. What is VoiceDrop AI?
All right. So one of the things I understood I'm really good at is finding guerrilla methods, like really blue ocean methods to reach people. Every one of my last businesses or ideas or positions that I filled, it was always about how to reach people in a way that no one else does or no one else will. VoiceDrop actually came after my experience in real estate. I was doing real estate in Florida. I was wholesaling buildings and apartments. That means that I'm finding someone that wants to sell his house. I sign with him on a selling agreement, and I agree with him that I'll pay him in 30 days. Then I have 30 days to find someone that will buy this apartment or this house from me, and for a higher price. And I profit from this kind of arbitrage. Investors like working with wholesalers like me because we give them good deals, and we find the sellers that usually don't know how to find investors or how to sell their house. We give them we help them sell the house. So that's kind of like win-win for all sides. And I encountered a technology called ringless voicemail when I was doing that. I was doing SMS marketing, and ringless voicemail marketing, that's basically the ability to send someone a voicemail message to his voicemail without calling. So you hear like one ring sometimes, and sometimes not at all, and you have a message in your voicemail. What you would think is that someone called you and you missed the call and he reached the voicemail. What actually happened is that he planned to reach your voicemail from the first moment, and that's a unique technology. So what I felt is it's missing is personalization, because the way everyone works, all these companies are working, is that they take one recording, you record something pretty generic and you send it to everyone. It's even a bit spammy, because like, hey, I passed by your house and I have an offer, call me back if you'd like to sell it. And I was thinking, what if we could make it personal with a person's voice, but we'll make it personal, like, hey Steve, or hey Amber, I passed by your house in North Carolina and I have a cash offer. Please call me back if you'd like to sell it. Um, and now it's more personal. Now you may respond, you'll make a call back, and there is no limit to how personal you can make it. So that was the idea behind it. I wanted to take something scalable but spammy and not very efficient and make it more personal to improve its quality, improve its value. So that was how VoiceDrop was born. I found how to clone the voice, which was the first challenge. Second challenge was how to send a ringless voicemail, which is an extremely complex technology. There are like 5 companies in the whole world that can send ringless voicemails, and we ended up being one of them. And we combined these two, and today we have a very successful product with millions of ringless voicemails being sent every month. And they're all personal, which makes me feel good that, people outreach, but they reach people in a personal way.
Yeah. You removed the ick factor. I would get those and it's like, I don't want to be a number, but it's still efficient. So you used that fork scenario that you were talking about when you were a kid, and you still got the efficiency without the ick factor of feeling like, I don't want to be a number.
Yeah, exactly. I had a cold email marketing company that was doing the exact same thing. Again, a lot of personalization. And the thing that makes me feel the worst always is exactly what you mentioned. When I'm just a number, when I'm just a row in someone's database, when a friend sends me, hey, can you do this and that for me? But it's just like you see that it's a forwarded message that he sent to 20 people or 100 people. Just adding my name in this message will make me want to do it so much more. I'm a very strong believer in personalization and making people feel they matter.
I agree 100%. And it almost pulls your focus as well, because if I'm being treated like a number, then you're going to, in turn, I'm going to treat you like the number in my inbox or the number in my voicemail box too, because I'm equally as busy and I've got 500 messages in my voicemail oftentimes. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got my number. I don't know. But if it's tailored to me, then I'm likely going to listen versus just something else. So, from a getting my attention standpoint, that is actually far more useful, I would think. So, way to go out and solve a problem.
Yeah, I'm a natural problem solver. That's a thing that I understood. I was trying to figure out what drives me in life for a very long time. Is it women, and my sexual life? Is it money? Is it family? And I understood, yeah, all of these are definitely rooted there. But at the end of the day, what gives me happiness is solving problems. I like solving problems.
Yeah, we were chatting about that just before we hit record, like creative problem solving. It's actually a lot of fun. Not that I want problems all the time, but when they arise, if we look at them like opportunities for creative problem solving, it can be really fun.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to pivot because this caught my eye too. You're a hypnotist?
Yeah, I am.
How does that come into play?
So I'm I'm a generalist. I like to know a bit of everything. Okay, I like to know a lot of everything. Trying to learn everything I can. Now, hypnosis, that's something that it caught my interest ever since I was very young. And growing up in Israel, I couldn't learn it because Israel is the only country in the world that it's illegal to learn hypnosis in.
I did not know that. See, I'm learning new things like crazy in this conversation.
Yeah, it's this use case of something happened in the 70s. The government got really afraid. They passed a law, and ever since, no one will change that because it's just not interesting to anyone enough. But yeah, it's just illegal. And for me, if it's illegal, it's even more interesting. So I was researching and reading books and trying to learn everything I can. Eventually, when I lived in Miami, I met someone that is a hypnotist. I took a session with her, and then I told her, "Hey, I want you to teach me everything you know. Please, everything you know, everything you learned. I want to know that. I'll pay whatever it takes." Because she was really good, and I really liked what she, like, the way she handled that, the way she took me into my subconscious and this amazing place I reached to. So yeah, I started meeting with her weekly, learning everything from top to bottom, and I still have a lot to learn, like everything. But I'm already in a place where, yeah, I can put anyone under trance and investigate, solve problems, go to the subconscious, and it's kind of a journey with the person into his subconscious. Something people don't know about hypnosis is that when you're entering a trance with someone, and even if you're the hypnotist, you're inside together. Whatever he sees, you see. That's not one-sided. That's not you talking and he is imagining. You're both in the same place. When we are talking right now, we're both in a trance. The way me and you are focused on each other, we are in a trance. Just that at every single point, another person of us is leading this trance. So right now it's me, and in a moment it's going to be you. And in hypnosis, usually it's just me because I'm the hypnotist, and that's what I'm here for.
It's a beautiful way to describe it. And so there's a trust and a surrender that goes with that. And that's why it caught my attention. Because it isn't just a one-way surrender. Everyone feels like, oh, I'm not going to go get hypnotized because I'm letting somebody else into my psyche. But it isn't just that if I were to go to you and I give you permission to hypnotize me, you're also trusting me to go into my psyche, right? So it isn't just one way. And I don't know that that's talked about very often.
That's very accurate, and definitely that's not something talked. I would say hypnosis is not a subject people talk a lot about. It's some kind of a taboo. People are afraid. What if you will make me do something I don't want to? What if I'll tell you something I don't want to tell you? And one thing about hypnosis is that no one can make you do something you don't want. You're in full control the whole time. There is no way to convince someone to do something against his will. You're never down, you're never sleeping, you're fully aware and conscious. It's just that your brainwaves are a bit different, and your imagination is much stronger, I would say.
Yes. And that helps, I would offer, from my studies in hypnosis and hypnotherapy, it helps with the creative process.
Yeah.
You as a hypnotist, I found, because I've studied hypnotherapy, when I have those moments where I am struggling to get into my creative zone, I now have the ability to understand my brainwave patterns and how to navigate and open myself up more easily and more readily to get into these creative zones, so that it's not like I can go inspiration now, but at least I can become more open to the creative process and inspiration, which when I look at all that you've done and how you're doing these, like VoiceDrop, right? How much do you feel having this awareness of the brainwave patterns and hypnotherapy? How has that helped you, or has it?
Oh, it helped me a lot. Being an entrepreneur is a daily challenge against your own mind. that's your only potential enemy, and that's also your best friend. So you need to know how to work with your own mind very well. You need to know how to understand the patterns, to understand yourself. These days, I already find myself that I have this, this feeling in my chest that of I'm not ease, and I'm just sitting, trying to think and imagine and what happened, what made me feel that way. And then instead of staying with this feeling the whole day and just, not being productive, not being efficient, not being nice to people, it takes me exactly 30 seconds to find the source. And then I can choose to address the source, to write it down, to work on it later, or, to do with it whatever I want. But I know myself. I understood what the problem. It's like being a developer, a coder of your own self.
Yes. And I use that analogy a lot too. Like, I get the choice. Am I going to let that program run in the background, or am I going to do something about it? Right? So I love that. So I know you've done things other than VoiceDrop. Would you like to share any of those? Are there other things out there that you think the Heart Leader crew might enjoy exploring and diving into?
For sure. So I found it really like a lot of different companies, and I'll bring up few very interesting ones. I one time even had a dating company, and that happened. The idea started when I was having my first company, the one that didn't succeed very well. I was so busy. I was working so hard, real like 16 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. I had the energy of a 21-year-old. I cannot do it today, but back then I was working so much, and at some point I understood, hey, I'm a bit lonely. I don't meet anyone. I don't go out of the house. I barely meet friends, and even if I want to meet women, girls to start dating, I don't have the time for that. I don't even have the time to use, all of these dating apps, because it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of effort, and I didn't want to like it would be in exchange of my company. Not that I had so much choice. Yeah, I was very disoriented back then. So I came up with an idea. And again, that comes to the automation thing. Instead of me reaching to girls in some places, going out to bars, using dating apps, how about I use an ad? Maybe a Facebook ad with myself. I'm pretty good copywriter, so I'll write some content. I'll put some pictures, and I will use Facebook's ad targeting engine to target girls that are exactly what I'm looking for. Same hobbies, same similarities, and that's what I did. I just created Facebook ads for Nadav, with some content was saying like, hey, you're probably wondering why you're seeing this ad. So hey, I'm Nadav, and I just this whole thing explaining who I am, and I started getting 5 to 10 in like messages every day, and I think I had two dates a week, just by doing that. So it worked very well. Didn't require any effort from me. I spent like $1 a day on ads, so it was very very cost effective. And shortly after finishing with my first company, and I had a lot of lessons I took from this company. And the first one is have market validation before you launch anything, because I worked for 1.5 years and no one wanted to use my product because I never tried it before. So I said, all right, let's take this idea and let's see what I can do with that. I set it up for 2 of my friends, and and I said created the copy, the images, everything, and they started having far greater success than I ever had. And
You're like, gosh darn it.
like, hey, there is something here. And like, because at this moment I don't care about anything. I just look at the company potential, the market potential. So I just posted a post in some group of friends. I told them about this product. I had 20 people saying they're interested. Out of them, 8 paid me in advance. I took this money. I hired 3 copywriters, and I used, like, this time I did it completely reverse. I had market validation. I had user testing with 2 of my friends. Then I got payment before even building something. Okay, yeah, I could do it manually, but I didn't have any system. And before building a system, I got the money, and I told them, you'll have it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then I hired the people to do it. Then I built it. And yeah, that was, for me, it was a correction compared to the first company that I did everything wrong. Here, I did everything right, and it felt very good.
That's amazing. And then what happened? How did it come out?
So, okay, so it kind of exploded. I'm also a big fan of social engineering, so I like to do some little tweaks with people. So I sent a few news sites, a message from my friend telling about this product, like, hey, I just saw this thing. That's pretty interesting. You better check this out. And then 2 of them replied, hey, do you know who is the owner? We'd like to interview him. So yeah, of course, I gave them my number from my friend's account. And then I had an interview in some news outlets, and then I had a lot of clients. Only out of nowhere, I had a lot of people reach to me, and they want me to set it up for them. And then after setting up for both men and women, by the way, actually women were my larger audience after that. And then what happened after is that I was overseeing everything, and I saw that everyone are starting to get replies from the same people. Like, they're the same girls that kind of reply to the same, like, to different guys, and same guys reply to different girls. And then I understood, all right, I think that I'm a bit limited by the market. Israel is not a big country; it's a pretty small country, and I reached saturation very quick. I tried to run it in the US, but that was already beyond the Facebook time in the US. People in the US already migrated to Instagram, and yeah, it didn't work as well, and I lost all the interest. I'm like, okay, it's not scalable. I'm out. I continued serving the existing clients, but no one knew, and I let it die out. It was a nice project, a nice mental correction after the first company.
Yeah. Again, a great learning opportunity to understand social dynamics and to really get things moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Use the skills and knowledge I just learned, my newly learned skills to and to implement it in a new business model, and see how to actually see if I learned the right things or not.
So do you have like a YouTube where you put all of this knowledge out for other young entrepreneurs coming up?
I should have one, right?
You should have one. You absolutely should.
Yeah, I really want to, and I'll tell you how much I want to. I had a call with someone that I didn't know before. It was a connection between, it's like the boss of my friend. He wanted my help with some AI project, and I told him, we talked about opening a YouTube channel. I told him, okay, I commit to you that I'm going to post at least one YouTube video in the next week, and if I don't, I'm going to pay you $500. And that's my way to make myself do things that I postponed too much. So good news is that yesterday I published my first video.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to watch, and if you don't get your second one up, then you are going to donate to us.
$1,000.
Okay.
All right, that's a deal.
What is your YouTube channel so that we can go check out the first one?
So it's my name, Nadav Boaz, on YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, you know what? It's fine, because I'm going to now to make sure I told you the right, because I really didn't. All right, yeah, that's Nadav Boaz. That's my name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at Nadav Boaz Sensei. Sensei is my stage name, you could say.
Yeah. Now I'm going to shift into another thing because there were these little things that popped out. I'm like hypnotist and serial entrepreneur, started all these companies, and Mensa member, which makes sense.
Yeah. Uh,
So, story behind that?
yeah. So when I moved to Miami, I live right now in Colombia. I moved here 4 years ago. Didn't plan to. That's a completely different story. But a year ago, I moved to Miami and lived there for half a year with my girlfriend. And I didn't know anyone there. And it was very important for me to meet good people, entrepreneurs, to be around interesting people. Now, in Israel, uh, okay, now I knew there is the Mensa organization, and I assumed that I could find quality people there, possibly entrepreneurs, because the condition to enter Mensa is to have an IQ anywhere between 130 to 140 or above. I didn't know my IQ. I was under the impression it's okay. It's probably a bit above average, but not more than that. In Israel, IQ is not a strong thing. Just like hypnosis, for a very long time when I lived in Israel, I wanted to test my IQ, and there is nowhere. It's just not a thing in Israel. I found one time, like one place that could do IQ tests, but they told me it's like a part of a very large test that takes 3 days and costs like $3,000. And I'm like, what? I just give me the test. It takes 2 hours. No, we don't do that. So yeah, when I was in Miami, I decided to take an IQ test. Apparently my IQ is 143, and with this I can enter Mensa. So I'm like, all right, let's see what's inside. I'll go to their events. I'll meet interesting people. Um, I I submitted the application with the results. I got inside and joined to all of the groups and community. And do you know what I found out?
What?
These people are as average as you can imagine, uh, and a bit worse because like I really like no entrepreneurs like I thought. It just people that like to complain about politics and economics in Facebook group. That's what that's there were people that are there, and very arrogant people. And I try to think. I know a lot of smart people. Most of the people around me are pretty smart. No one behaves that way. And then it hits me. The people that join Mensa are people that actively did an IQ test in order to join a community of smart people. Only arrogant people are doing that. So,
And you're like, and I did that.
I'm one of them now. Yeah.
I love
So
it.
yeah, so that's definitely not what I thought it will be. I can put the impressive tag that I'm a Mensa member, and that's nice, but nothing beyond that.
Yeah. We talk often about you have IQ and you have HQ, and when you can heart quotient, and when you can balance your intellectual quotient with your heart quotient and have that balance, whatever that balance looks like for you, because balance doesn't mean everything's equal, then you have that knowing of yourself. And it sounds like that was an opportunity for you to go, all right, I know I'm smart. I don't need Mensa to tell me I'm smart. I'm a good human. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, what do you spend the majority of your time focusing on now? Because being an amazing, epic human, that's just what you are. So, how do you spend your time putting that out into the world now? Is it with VoiceDrop? Are you doing other things, including that? You're in Colombia now, you're not in Florida. So, how are you shining that amazingness out into the world?
First of all, thank you. Um, I'm I learned a very valuable lesson from not my previous company, but the one before that. Um, the name of this company was Pragmatica. It was a cold email marketing company, my largest one so far. At our peak, we had over 40 employees, and I was so much into work. I was working so much, so hard. I didn't go to any vacation, didn't go out. I barely spent time with my girlfriend. I didn't talk with my family a lot. And uh, after I closed this company and I felt this relief, I understood that I don't want to do this ever again. It's very important to have boundaries and to build the company in a way that will allow me to live my life, allow me to take vacations, and not to have my head in the company and to think what happens, what could happen without me. So today, what I'm doing mostly is, I manage VoiceDrop and I build new things all the time. I also manage Pragmatica. After we closed it a few years ago, we revived it 2 years ago, and we take it in a very different direction. So these are the two companies I manage. They take, I would say, anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of my day every day. Some days it could be 2 hours, others it could be 8, but the average will be anywhere between 4 to 6. The rest of my time I try to spend with my girlfriend, to go out, uh, be in nature. I like to teach people. I'm a natural educator. That's one of the reasons I'm really excited to have kids. I don't have any yet, but I really want to, and I want to pass all of my knowledge forward. I think it's a crime to keep it in my head. And I have people I mentor. I have groups that I'm a member of, and I'm trying to help young entrepreneurs. And I'm trying to live my life as best I can to enjoy the moment. I don't know how long we will have here. I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I don't know when AI will take over humanity. I just know what happens right now, and what's the point in building amazing companies and amazing things if you cannot enjoy the fruits while building it? I don't think I felt in the past that I need to wait. I need to wait for the exit. I need to wait for the moment I'll be multi-millionaire. But I don't know if that will happen. I don't know when it will happen. And I know for sure it will not happen if I will not enjoy the way, because that just makes me hate what I do. And it happened to me more than once, that I worked so hard that I started hating what I'm doing because I was not enjoying.
That's brilliant advice. I think for every person, we're marching toward a goal that's out there. And so our sight is always out there instead of being right here and enjoying right here. And that's the gift right here. Like, I get to talk with you right now. That's such a huge gift. I would have never known you had this moment not happened. And that's the treasure, not like something 10 years from now. So I think that you being able to, it'll be a blessing when you have children, but to be able to start however you desire to put content out there, but to start getting content out there to help the individuals that are entrepreneurs and seeking this knowledge that you have will be so valuable. I'm going to be a huge advocate of that. So
We have a deal. We already made our deal.
okay. I'm hoping that you don't donate $1,000, which is something I would never normally say, because our programs could definitely use them. But it would be the best $1,000 I never got if you go out there and post your next video and just really start getting that information out there.
I agree. Yeah, and I noticed a pattern within me. I used to write a lot on my Facebook profile, and people really liked what I'm writing because I was sharing my experiences. I'm pretty good in writing things and explaining things, complex things in a simple way. And with time, more ideas came to my mind, and I started writing in my mind. And then I got the satisfaction from writing and speaking in my mind. And I had no will to do it in real life. And I just found out recently that I keep having thoughts about this stuff, about writing and recording videos and what kind of content I will record. And I get the dopamine from thinking about that. So I never execute, and that's a problem.
Yes, the next step. Take the next step. And, I know people say that individuals have moved off of Facebook, but we have a community of 1.2 million highly active individuals out there who would tell you otherwise. So if Facebook was a great community for you, use Facebook. That's all I have to say. I know there are lots of social media platforms. We're on all of them, but Facebook still has a pulse.
Yeah, I love Facebook. By the way, that's the only social media I have. I have Instagram with 4 pictures from 3 years ago that it was very hard for me to upload them, but that's it. That's the only social media I mean.
Yeah, we love it. So, well, as we're preparing to wrap up here with all the knowledge and all the heart expansion that you have, because I know that's why you reached out to us. You have this, for as much knowledge as you also have this huge heart that you're using that knowledge to contribute back to humanity, so that, going back to your fork analogy, like, you see how things can be collected and made more efficient. And that also goes toward what we're doing as humans to better ourselves. So what would you offer to the Heart Leader community as just words of wisdom when it comes to personal growth and love and moving forward in that direction? Maybe using technology as a way to do that.
I would advise looking in the mirror at yourself and loving what you see, because that's a start. When you love yourself, when you love what you see in the mirror, everything else will get along. You loving yourself affects your mind affects your actions, and your actions affect your business and everything else you're doing in life, your relationship, your social dynamics. So being in peace with yourself, it's so important. I used to hurt myself, not physically, but punish myself. Hey, why did you wake up late? Or why did you take a rest that day? You have so many things to do. And when I keep telling these things to myself, it doesn't really help. It doesn't make me a better person. It doesn't make me a more efficient person. It just makes me a more bitter person. So once I became in peace with myself and my actions, and when in the middle of the day, even if I'm extremely busy, I'm thinking, all right, I want to rest for half an hour, I'm just going to bed and I'm laying down and I'm browsing some memes or something, or YouTube, just to give myself a rest, and I feel good about that. I'm like, okay, I deserve to be spoiled and have this half an hour. I'm working hard for that. When I did this mind shift, that's when I started succeeding in business. This exact time.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for being on here. And we'll make certain that your YouTube channel that individuals can begin to follow is posted, so we can all watch you rise and soak in your knowledge. And it will be Nadav Boaz, right? Just your name?
It's Nadav Boaz Sensei.
Sensei.
3 words. Yeah.
Okay, Nadav Boaz Sensei, which is your screen name, pen name.
Yeah. I had a gym coach here in Colombia that used to see me walking with a white shirt and white pants, and he used to say that I look like a sensei, that I'm hovering over the pool and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that that's there too, and I will go out and I'll like your channel. I'll subscribe.
That's the best thing I can get from you.
Well, we will make it a community effort.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Likewise. Mutual admiration.